How are we doing today? It is another Thursday afternoon. Rainy. Very rainy. Been pretty wet the past few days here in Kingsport. Go ahead and hop on there. Give us a like, a dislike, frowny face, smiley face, whatever you feel like. It all helps. Throw your comments up, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, and we will do our best to get your questions answered. And anything that you want to talk about today, just toss it on up there and we'll have a little chat. Opening up the beer of the day. Ooh. Founders All Day IPA. It's a good, reliable one. So, I think this is the first time you're on, right?
Yep.
Okay, first time Anthony is on. So, Anthony, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Rich's little brother. I started here.
You can tell who got the good look in the family.
I started here about, when was it?
Year and a half ago?
A little over a year and a half ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I guess we're going on 2 years. We're getting close to 2 years now.
Yeah. I work in the machine shop and engineering department, so I'm doing design, machine setup, a little bit of everything pretty much. Prototyping, all the fun stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
So working on supporting existing manufacturing as well as new stuff. All right.
Axel Van Stevens says, is it normal that my brand new MTW Forge shoots 2 BBs at once?
Yes, we intentionally designed a gun that shoots 2 BBs every time you pull the trigger. No, that sounds like you have something off with something. It could just be if it could be as simple as the tension on the bucking lips needing to be adjusted just a touch tighter. Don't go overboard on it. It only takes a tiny bit. Sometimes if you're using mags with really stiff springs and you don't have any tension on the hop-up lips, it can allow double feeding. So something like that. That would be my first place I'd check. But don't go overboard. We see way more. With the Phoenix Hop, we see way more people that over-tighten it than under-tighten it. Like people that just crank down on it. It doesn't take much. You're talking about real slight tension. So, give it a shot. And if you need help, you can contact the tech department, and we'll be happy to help you out. Let's see.
Don't see.
It sounds like everybody's saying the same thing to him.
Yep, pretty much.
Alrighty. Here's a question for today. What is the strangest HPA build you have ever seen? I've seen some odd ones. Trying to think off the top of my head. I'll have to chew on that one a bit. But Hydra especially gives you lots of options. You can do all sorts of odd guns, and then you can start with an odd gun and then customize it from there. I've got one. I've got one. You throw your comments up there. You tell me what is the strangest or most interesting HPA build you've ever seen. I talked about DMR maybe in the works. Yeah, the 308 MTW is sitting right there.
Just off screen.
Just off screen. It'll be here before you know it. Don't worry. Apparently nobody on here gets sarcasm. I guess that looks like an international name, maybe. Maybe. Sometimes sarcasm doesn't translate, so we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. One of my favorite bizarre builds was way back in the olden days. I think this was an SMP build. KP down in Hawaii started with a Scar H and then made a bullpup out of it. Like hacked it all to pieces, like molded and made parts to fit and created a Scar H bullpup. It was really good stuff. It was a work of art, but pretty fun off the wall build, which is one of the fun things about if you go with a drop-in engine instead of an MTW. If you want something that just works, get an MTW. If you want to go nuts, a drop-in engine like an Inferno or a Hydra is a really good option. Wait, what? Go ahead and read that one.
Joshua says, I'd say the most odd build I've been asked to work on is recently a request to convert a literal toaster.
Why? Why do you want a toaster?
Doesn't seem very...
I could see a suitcase. Suitcase would be cool. Suitcase MTW or suitcase, HPA gun. Suitcase, you could just have the tank and everything inside the suitcase,
there you go.
And just walk around in your, in your suit like a businessman on the field, and just have your trigger wired in and just do the like MP5K in the suitcase thing.
Maybe they gotta put a CO2 cartridge in the toaster. Keep it small.
CO2 cartridge. I'm so confused why you would think of a toaster. I need context. Help me out, Joshua. I need context.
Dion says, what about a camera? Would be perfect.
Camera would be cool.
Pretend to take a picture, shoot a BB.
That would be pretty cool. Something just straight up disguised as a get one of those like, what you have to do for that is get one of those like big old school under the hood things and just dress up in your old
get you under
old school outfit, and you walk around and ask to take pictures of and like stage them and all, and then just zap.
Blinded by the flash.
Yeah. Oh, the fun we could have. We want Wolverine t-shirts. We have a few. We just have not had time to get to swag. There's a bunch of swag we've talked about. We're talking about doing some work mats. It would be fun to have like a blow up of an MTW on a work mat, workstation.
That would be pretty sweet.
Try YouTube, see whether we've got anything over on YouTube. Yeah. In the meantime, if you've been paying attention, you may have noticed that Wraith is currently out of stock. Most of them. There's a few. I think we still have a couple things, but most of the Wraith are out of stock. If you haven't guessed yet, we're working on the updated design for the to integrate the Cat 5 regulator into all of the Wraith stock platforms. Have some really exciting stuff. Some really cool stuff we're doing with that will make things more user-friendly and more reliable and just more fun in general. But I'm not going to tell you about all that just yet. You're just going to have to hang on and wait. We're getting there.
Glenn wants to know, if he sacrifices his firstborn, will you make an M249?
I am not Molech, so
True.
Some people may think I'm that evil, but I am not Molech, so I do not take firstborn children as sacrifices.
Peter asks, do you check every gun you send out?
Yes.
Yes. Everyone goes through a QC process, run several mags through it, make sure it shoots nicely.
Everything's 100% QC. Our guns, our engines, everything is 100% QC. We don't do batch QC or anything. I mean, there are some like non-functional parts that we just batch QC and make sure that the whole batch looks right. But anything that's a working part, a functioning part, we run through QC and make sure it's right. We have specs for the MTWs as far as what energy range it should be shooting, all that kind of stuff, just to make sure everything's the way it should be.
Aiden says someone has made a toaster HBA before.
We're talking about an actual literal, push it down, toast pops up toaster. There's not some gun out there that I haven't heard of that's called a toaster. I'm so confused. I don't get it.
Running around the field with a toaster? That would be
Oh. Yeah. Oh, on another note, while we're here, I think we only have 3 limited edition MTWs left. And then they're gone.
Yep.
And that is with 2 that we know of. I'm going to say this way because, whatever. It is what it is. 2 limited edition MTWs have been stolen. We have the serial numbers notated and are keeping an eye out for them, but really, really pisses me off. One of them, I think a guy had it stolen at a game or something. I'm not positive. The other was stolen by the person that ordered it from us. Classic place an order, and then we have delivery confirmation and all that kind of stuff. Never gets in touch with us. Never tries to figure out what's going on. Just files a PayPal claim and runs away with the money. So pretty annoyed. But we have 3 left. If you still want one, there's time. There are 3, just 3. There might be a few at dealers in Europe. Maybe. I think all the dealers in the U.S. are completely sold out. Not positive, but as far as I know, all the dealers in the U.S. are sold out. We have just 3 left. So if you want one, get on it. Not sure what the status is in Europe.
Joshua likes the nylon receiver wobble screw.
Yeah.
The new MTWs come with.
It's, again, it's one of those things that none of us really use it because it is what it is. You shoot real guns and find out most of them rattle a little bit and do their thing, and none of us really mess with it. But people like to have options, so, Peter thinks there's 1 limited edition left in Denmark. That's possible. Last I checked, there were just a couple shops in Europe that still had some, but I don't know all the shops that have them. So,
Casper says his local shop got number 1.
Got number 1 of 250. Can't get him to sell it. Yeah, I almost held on to number 1, but decided to put it out there and let you guys have it, and have some fun with it. So, yeah, it's pretty special.
Hampus asks what you think about the new Max hop-up.
I know they look great. I don't have a production model yet, but I'm super stoked about people making aftermarket stuff for the MTW. We have our own hop-up systems, and they're great, but it's great for people to have options. And it just, I think it also helps give consumers more confidence because there are more options out there. This is, there are other companies now supporting this platform and really demonstrating the viability of the platform itself. So I'm all for it. Have at it. And I expect their stuff in general is really nice, so I expect it'll do well.
Yeah. Just having aftermarket options for any market is just a cool side of it, to be able to customize things. Not that it needs it, but to have the option is a cool.
Yeah, options are nice.
Cool
it's just it lets you make it your own and do what you want with it.
Jacob says Bingo Airsoft Works put an SMP in a Nerf minigun.
Yes, that is a classic. I actually went the other way, and I put an SMP into a Nerf gun, and made an SMP powered Nerf gun, which was fun. It shot I needed higher quality bullets. The ones I was using, like, it was shooting them at a velocity that they became unstable, and they'd like whip around and do bizarre things. Yeah. I needed some that were more end weighted or something. Ooh, the triggers as well. Yes, Max is doing triggers. I have not seen those yet in person either, but they look nice. And Max speed triggers are generally pretty nice. Yep. Let's see what else I got on the list for today. Not a huge amount. Let's see. Billet Tactical. If you haven't heard yet, Billet Tactical is out. Or it's open for orders. We haven't delivered any. I don't think we've shipped any Billet Tactical yet. They're still in production. Normal lead times are applying. But they are in production and expected, first shipment are expected to leave for retailers early July. Okay? So that's right about on the 8-week lead time, because we opened them up just a couple weeks ago. So that's just about the right lead time there. Been super popular so far.
Yeah.
I'm curious, if you ordered a Billet Tactical or you know people that are, which thing pushed you to order the Billet Tactical? Is it the nicer stock and grip, the new rail design, the new receiver features with the screws in there and all that kind of stuff? What was the deciding factor? Really curious. We've actually had a lot of orders for them, more than we expected right off the bat, which is great. It's we can. It's not like, it's great. Because we can shift. The nice thing about it is it's a pretty easy change. We keep both stocks in, so we already are, the receivers and stuff like that are the long, and the valves and machined parts are the long lead stuff. So getting more tactical and less of the standard billet orders isn't a problem. Just curious what's pushing people over the edge to go for it.
Those Mark 1 rails are really nice.
They're sharp.
I got to work on some of the designing and machine setup for those, and came out really pretty. So
yeah, it's a nice clean design. I'm happy with it. We're actually starting engrave. I just was getting the engraving file set up for that right before I jumped on here. Can go back and check that after we hop off here in a couple minutes.
Ooh, Joshua asks, any new products coming this year that rhyme with MTW Quake stock?
Hang on, let me think. Like MTW Bake Block? Or MTW Shake Clock? I'm not sure what we're after here. Not that I know of. No new products that I know of that are going to rhyme with MTW Quake stock.
We'll have to come up with some creative
It's the grip plate that stops the nerve pushes everyone. I don't know. Yeah, it is a similar aesthetic to the URGI style rail, just super clean and yeah,
effective, lightweight.
Yeah. HECT Tech. Why can't he afford a shirt with sleeves? Well,
just too poor.
Yeah. let's say he may not be spending his money in the right places.
I don't know. They just don't pay me enough to work here, you know. Ever thought about doing an MTW toolkit? In the UK, they have to hunt around for imperial-sized tools.
It's a thought. We've thought about doing sort of a general tech kit, like a bunch of like all the different O-rings you need, and you could potentially do common tools along with that. But not sure. We'll have to think about that. We've talked about doing some sort of a tech kit just to give people that want to get everything all in one place rather than ordering bits and pieces of stuff, everything they need. But
Glenn wants some MTW Darn Tough socks.
Darn Tough socks are good stuff.
Yep. Do you have any regulators to come out?
We are still shipping the traditional Storm design. We're shipping lots of those. Had tons of orders for those recently. So if you need a regulator right away, those are still available. We are working on the Cat 5. We had a hold up with our parts supplier that they increased their lead times on us, so it's going to be a little bit of a delay to get the Cat 5 out. We do have the pilot batch in-house and are working on building those out. So when the full production batch gets here, we'll already have the pilot batch ready to ship and ready to go.
Juan wants to know when pre-orders open for the Bake Clock Gen 2.
Bake Clock Gen 2, coming right up. It's sitting right over here next to the 308 and the AK.
Yep.
Oh my. Any other questions? I don't have a whole lot of an agenda today. We've been busy. Things have been nuts. New machine has been running pretty much full time.
Yep.
Just cranking out lower receivers left and right. Pretty much just been running wide open, working on new stuff that I can't tell you about. Periodically I get a question. Actually just had somebody ask me yesterday, "Sir, you guys working on anything new right now?" I was like, listen.
Nope, nothing
If you haven't realized by now that we're always working on something new, you haven't been paying attention. But lots of fun stuff in the works. Some of it slated for relatively soon, lots of it longer term. Gonna need a new building before then. We've outgrown our current space. It's just one of those things have kind of we've filled out all the room we have here, and in order to really keep growing, we need some additional room. So some of those projects can't really kick off until we get a new building to expand into. But lots of planning long term to try to keep things moving and keep bringing you guys cool new stuff, because that's the part. I run the business so that I can keep making cool new stuff. I do the designing of cool stuff for free. You have to pay me to run the business. That's sort of how it goes. Okay, somebody needs to just go ahead and order some of these maple leaf silicone buckings so they.
Joshua,
I haven't ordered them. We need to just grab some off of eBay or something.
Joshua likes the idea of a tech kit.
Yeah, it would be some work to put together.
Juan wants an Invictus Armorer's wrench.
Laser engraving in-house. MTW LMGs do take up a lot of space. You are correct. Guns in general, manufacturing guns takes up a lot of space. When we made the shift from just doing aftermarket systems to doing complete guns, and as the gun business has continued to grow, especially, space has become scarce. It just takes up a lot of, the parts are bigger, there's more of them. the finished product is bigger, so when you have it sitting on the shelves waiting to ship, it's, it takes up more room. So it's just a lot more. You need a shooting tunnel and stuff like that to be able to QC everything. So it is much more space intensive to build guns, but we are working on it. A couple options in the works, trying to figure something out that we can move into relatively quickly, so we don't have to. There's not a lot of commercial property available in this area right now in terms of manufacturing space, so might ultimately have to build something long term, but trying to find something that at least for the next couple of years we can move into and have enough room to keep growing in and doing what we do.
Jacob put a Reaper in his Lancer Tactical AK.
Awesome.
Loves it.
Nice.
Nathan asked about a Chris Vector HBA system.
I looked at it and basically decided I didn't. There were ways I could do it, but I didn't like any of them. It basically came down to anything I do is going to be kind of janky and it'll work-ish, but I couldn't come up with a way that was really a good, sort of bulletproof design. And I really try to avoid putting out products that I'm not in love with. Sometimes it's absolutely necessary to put something out that is sufficient but not great, just because of how it ties in with everything else, that hey, people really need something like this, and it's not, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but they need something to let them use everything else that fills this gap. Okay, but I really try to avoid putting out stuff that isn't just, that I'm not super excited about. We try to just pick the best of the ideas that we come up with and run with those and can the rest. Not fall into the trap of we have a brand so we can sell it, so we just make it anyway, regardless of whether it's the best that it could be. Keep pushing quality. Any other questions before we wrap up today? Not going to drag it on too long. We've got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't want to drag it on too awful long. But anything else you guys want to throw up there last minute before we hop off here? Do you want to get back to some games? I haven't been to a game in a little while, and not sure exactly when I will. We have a baby due next week, so I might not be here next week. Or I might, depends on the timing. Babies have minds of their own and don't always show up when you plan for them to. M249 Spartan system is no longer available. There's never been an M249 Spartan system. It's always used the premium FCU. The Spartan is just V2 gearboxes. Not sure I understand. That's the answer to the question. It's always been. It's always been the premium board for the M249.
MTW grenade launcher?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Is that coming soon?
Yeah. Absolutely. Electronic target system. Yeah. I was just talking, there's some crazy systems out there now. There's one, I forget what it's called. I forget the name of it, but it integrates a scope with an electronic trigger system, so that you can tag your target with a laser, like you're hunting or whatever. You can tag your target with a laser, and then it will track it in the scope, and you pull down the trigger, and it waits until your crosshairs are on target, and then fires the gun. So you basically just hold down the trigger and try to get on target, and it'll automatically fire it once you're on target. Pretty wild. I've never tried using one, but they claim it'll let you hit animals when they're running and stuff like that, because it just it does all the math for you and just makes it go bang when it's the right time. Pretty wild. What?
Real life aimbot on
yeah,
the gun.
real life aimbot. Yeah, we released the AK and the LMG. They're already at real retailers. Don't worry. Actually, okay, I shouldn't see that. Somebody's going to actually believe me. We haven't. It was a joke, okay? Calm down. Releasing the MT99 for other mags, something ARP9 mags. I don't have a plan right now to do that. We don't really want to support 2 9mm platforms. That's more receivers than we want to make. It's a lot. The thing is, we're still a U.S.-based manufacturer. We machine those receivers right here in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's not like we just order a batch in from overseas and say, well, make some to this spec. It's we got to pick and choose what we do, and we do the best option. So I don't foresee doing that. I'm not going to say we'll never do it, but I don't foresee it right now. With 2 flat screws. Oh, that wasn't a Spartan board. That was the previous design premium board. That was our original design premium board with the little 2 screws on it. Yeah, that's been replaced by the current premium board. Sorry, that's a misunderstanding there. Yep, that's correct. Alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for hopping on. And we will plan to see you guys next week. Like I said, I don't know that I'll be here next week. I don't know if anybody else will be on doing it or not. But let your friends know. Let your family know. Be here, maybe not next week. This is a terrible time to pitch this. But next time we do Live from the Den, be here or be square. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.